Go on, Nick, introduce yourself.
Hello, people. I'm 36 as well, from North Manchester. Also, nephew of Uncle B, and possible and future business partner. Um, and I agree, he's a great uncle and a blessing until he starts talking about football and the circumference of heads because he's just huge.
You know what? So just tell people a bit about what each of you do. What do you do, Dale?
Well, until recently, I've spent the majority of my adult life, working life, as a insurance consultant. Did it for 15 plus years. Due to the COVID-19 and jobs getting cut, I was one of the people caught in the cold. Luckily, for the last 2 years, I've been working as a key worker, which I was doing part time alongside my main career. Since July, I've been doing that full time. I currently work as a key worker in a placement where I help young persons basically navigate from semi-independency to being independent, to when they get their own flat, and just teach them and mentor them with what I know and encourage them and just help them. So I'm doing that full time now, and looking to get more into young offenders work in the very, very near future. So so my energy, I do about 40-50 hours a week of my time, dedicating to these young kids and hopefully showing them a better way of life. That's me right now.
Wow, you sound all grown up.
Isn't
it? Nick, tell the people what you do.
For the past 5 years, I've been working as an electrician through my own business. I'd say for the past year, I've been doing about 18 months. I've been doing mentoring youth through my CIC. I also have grown my electrical company into a construction company, which has started about, I'd say, about 6 to 8 weeks ago. I'm also a moderator of Work Home Business Manchester on Facebook, which is basically the first black economy that Manchester has ever had. So yeah, constantly busy on top of the other things that I do.
Wow. You know what? You guys tell me how you think life is going for you, and what can make it better. How's life going? You both you guys talk to me about.
I'll go first, yeah, Nick.
Yeah.
So basically, life really at the moment with the climate of today has been the best part, a crazy adventure. Again, I mentioned before the industry I was working in as an insurance broker, just working every day to make someone rich, really. It was a job that I was good at in terms of the technical aspect of it, and I've got great people skills, so I've been told, and what have you. I get to engage with a lot of people in the industry. Obviously, like I said, due to COVID, I had no choice really, but I was kind of, the universe kind of answered my calling to want to put my energy into working with people less fortunate than myself. Wasn't all about the money. I kind of knew any aspects where I put in a lot of hard work and graft, I'd be successful in able to maintain a household and pay my bills, etc., etc. So, so once that side was secured, I'm in a very comfortable place where I can totally be myself as a not so young black man, but young black man, and it's kind of good because I'm going to be 37 next month, and every day I feel more secure in myself, who I am, what I know about myself, my behavior, and what have you. So it's nice now that I'm in a settled place in my mind where I have very little internal conflicts and stuff, and I can put my energy into good productive use. So right now I'm feeling very useful. I'm feeling very useful, and I'm feeling very blessed and loved. the lockdown was very challenging, but it's made I've got 2 daughters and a partner, and it's made our family unit a lot stronger. And just kind of seeing the time where we're all at home as a blessing. And you know, something I teach my kids all the time: just count your blessings; they're always going to outweigh the negative. So even though the world's a bit chaotic, I'm actually very happy. I've actually, you know, since March, I've had so much space in my mind now. I can think. I've learned new skills with the help of Uncle Buy-Me and his wife, my Auntie Joanne, and stuff, and also my cousin Maren, who's been you know, encouraging me to get a new skill set, which I have done in this last year. You know, still very far off being an expert, but it's actually making me, you know, pocket money, a nice little income, which, you know, just takes the pressure off and what have you. So yeah, so just feeling very good, very happy, and very blessed to be part of such a special and loving, encouraging, and also dynamic, constructive family.
I'm going to come back to some of that. Nick, tell us
Well,
how
yeah,
life's going for you.
This year started with me being stuck in Sheffield when my car key lost, telling myself that it's still going to be the year of abundance. And it's been a challenging year, but I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the growth. I feel that the situation that we're in now can make or break you. We all have skills, we all have trades, we all have things that we can use as a financial gain, social gain. And when you are using an excuse of a 9 to 5 while you life, when you have an opportunity like this to then utilize that time, then just do it. That's something that I've actually been doing, to the point where I'm run down now and people keep complaining that I should be in bed, so I am. Ended up in hospital and nearly lost my thumb. But the main message is don't stop. You have to make sure that you are constantly hitting your true potential. And like I said, having the time to be able to think within that space and grow, as you said, you know, gain new skill sets, build new businesses, new charities, build networks, connections, and bring opportunities to people that do have the skills, but just, I wouldn't say lack, but don't have the thought to think outside the box to create the opportunities that they need, if that makes sense. So yeah.
So how do we get to the next level? You know, because you know, you guys have described a situation where, you know, you managed to come through some challenges, and you know, I'm kind of happy to see that. But you know, you guys have probably got even more potential. So you know, how do you take it higher? How do you reach for the stars? Tell me about that. And because you know, I think we can both do more. So how are we going to do that?
Of course, there's working. I've been fortunate to work at many different places within the insurance industry, and I was never satisfied. You know, I would get into a job, I'd find a lot of the work easy, and when things become easy, you can easily slip into bad habits, complacency. So I programmed myself at a young age, especially, I hate to keep going back to color and race, but as a young black man, and always the only black man in a lot of the environments I was working in, to just not get comfortable. You know, I've always been taught that because of the color of my skin and the perception that people outside of my race do have, I was always going to have to do things more gracefully, do things, you know, harder, and go harder. put it to, you know, to modern day, and where my life is, you know, completely not wearing shirt and tie and suits and stuff. To get to the next level, you just always gotta keep moving forward. You've always gotta just try. You know, at least, you know, obviously realistically saying every day you're gonna do that one thing more to get your goal and what have you. But just waking up in the morning and having a positive attitude, to try and have a better day the day before. And also just, you know, just not settling, you know. When I got fired from my job, you know, I spent one day.
That was just before lockdown, or was it just after lockdown?
I literally got sacked and brought in the office as Rooney Sunak, whatever his name is.
Yeah. The chancellor.
Was doing the furlough speech. I was literally brought in as that was playing on our computers, and I was giving my marching orders. I felt, you know, as you would, you know, panicky because the world's cut, you know, at the times presented as absolute chaos. And I went home, I got a few beers, drank them fast. And in my tipsy haze, I just thought, right, the whole economy's shutting down, nowhere's hiring. What do I do? And I don't know, I just had this idea, and I went onto Tesco and I literally applied for 30 stores, you know. And 4 or 5 days later, got a phone call, come down to the store. I didn't even have, at this point, I was just thinking, I've got bills to pay, mouths to feed, a missus that I don't want to hear moaning that I'm, you know, she's supporting everyone. That Tesco was weird. I thought I was going for an interview. They literally just hired me on the spot, you know, and just like, yeah, when can you start? So, you know, I was pretty blessed, and I've always got a positive attitude. Always, even if I don't mean to, speak a lot of things into existence, and, you know, again, just not settling for, all right, I've got sacked, I'm just gonna just wait this one out. And I just, you know, so I've not really experienced any lockdown in terms of being outside. Yeah, on the social aspect, because a lot of places were closed and stuff, but I've been out there. I've been working, you know, as a key worker as well, with the key worker work that I do. So I've been, you know, traveling all over London, going to work in Tesco, working as much hours as I could just to, you know, break even and keep the bills ticking. And then, you know, I just spoke to my manager, or my company director at the young persons organization that I work for, and said, yo, what you got for me? And he was like, I was waiting for you to come see me. He said, you know, you can't work at Tesco, you're a great man. And it's one thing I always say to people: you must just present yourself nicely, present yourself approachable, present yourself graceful, you know, because people will like you and want that energy around if you have a constructive and friendly manner about you, you know. People are going to want you. And even if you don't think of it yourself, you know, opportunities will actually come. And, you know, at the back of my mind, I always wanted to get out of the insurance industry anyway. And, you know, like I said, the universe has a funny way of pushing you and showing you. And what you have to do is have, you know, all three eyes open and just go with the opportunity, you know, itself. So in regards to, you know, back to the question was, I've digressed a bit, but in terms of moving to that next level, just don't settle. Know that, you know, you are actually put on here for greatness. You know, I'm one of the fortunate few that I just have something in my head to know that I'm great. You know, I don't need people to tell me and remind me every day. You know, I feel it every time I wake up. When I look in the mirror and see my beautiful brown skin, and I feel royal. I feel,
amen.
You know, and I come from good stock. I can't have an uncle like Uncle Buy Me. I can't have a cousin like Nicholas who looks like he's sleeping.
He's all right.
Apologies, my screens. I dropped my phone. Rushing for putting a ticket in for parking, so my phone screen freezes from time to time. Apologies.
Oh, no, that's all right. That's all right. Yeah. So, you know, with the family that I have of actually hard workers, go getters, and positive people, it's infectious, and, you know, it's it's comforting knowing that I've got an emotional, safe and spiritual safety net that I can say, uncle, man, look, I have done many a year, and I've gone through my trials and tribulations in these offices and dealing with institutionalized racism.
I think we're on about case 15 for you, aren't we?
Oh, mate, honestly.
I've got like a filing cabinet of Dylan
Hey,
cases.
listen, I'm like the Nicholas Anelka of the insurance world. I've been through so many organizations. but you know, one thing that you've seen from me, uncle, if I don't like something, what do? I change it. You know, I don't sit and I don't dwell and I don't, you know, I can't do it to myself. It's insanity kind of going through a situation every day. You don't like it, yet you still put yourself through there. You know, I'm not a sadist. I do love myself and I value myself, my energy. And when you have kids in the mix, I can't come home to my kids who are, you know, two dynamic young ladies that need their dad to be dynamic as well and to engage. So, you know, it's just knowing, you know, where your energies lie, and you have to look at your surroundings and be inspired by it. So now that I do have my daughters, I have to move a certain way. I have to always remain positive. I have to show them, you know, life is gonna kick you and fling you down and trod on you, but just get up and crack on. As long as you're alive and you're breathing, there's another day and another opportunity to try and better yourself. And you know, there is always tomorrow. No matter what happens in your day, there is always tomorrow. And in regards to the next level, really, is just know, just even if no one's ever told you, just know you're great. You're great. You're here. God, the universe, whatever you believe, has put you here. Not for no reason, not for no chance.
Amen.
You're here for a reason, for a purpose, to contribute your energy cycle to this universe and try and make it a better place. Even if, you know, not for everyone, for yourself and the people around you. You know, at the height of feeling insecure and low in March when I was let go, you know, I still had that voice way deep in the back of my head to just get up the next day and crack on. And, you know, a lot of my peers and stuff, you know, I was feeling so low working at Tesco. I've gone from, you know, 3-piece suits and, you know, ties and tie clips and cufflinks to wearing Tesco finest clothes and stacking beans and getting upset when customers knock over my display and you know, and the battle I had at the time was fighting my pride. My uncle, my friends, my cousins, everyone was like, you know, bigging me up, like, yo, you're working at Tesco, that's big. And I could hear them, I could understand them, but my pride itself, you know, was eaten. So I said, yo, I'm not settling for this, you know. And I've been doing this job now for full time again since July, and it's been good. It's been challenging, you know, that the young kids, they don't come from blessed homes like ourselves, full of hugs and cuddles and support and stuff. So I've had to look deep in myself and just, you know, and luckily that positivity I have has rubbed off to the kids somewhat. But now I've been in this industry, I've now been headhunted, you know, by two organizations, and one which I've got a telephone interview for this week. That's, you know, that's going to triple the money that I'm on. So the fact we're going, you know, we're going through a pandemic, what have you, an economical, just crazy roller coaster at the moment. It's so good that I've been led out of an industry where it is facts and profit based to welfare and care based, you know, itself, and the fact that I can potentially by the end of this week or end of this month, you know, triple the money that I'm getting in, you know, itself, you know, is really good. And again, people, they need to realize having positive attitudes and being upbeat, something that you control. You decide more or less how you react off emotion. We're all human. We're all going to get certain emotions. I have insecure moments. I have doubt and all that stuff. But my voice inside, which I control, I don't just let it go on autopilot. I control. Say, yo, come get up. Let's go. You know. I wish it worked for the gym motivation a bit more, but
everyone needs that. You're not going to the gym, and you know that. Nick, tell me about it. Next level, where you going?
when it comes to the next level, it's all about, as Dylan said, positive mindset, yeah. But within that positive mindset, you've got to be able to look at just solutions. For example, I was working on construction sites for my own business. I've actually worked a week and a half this year regarding my 9 to 5. And I've earned more money this year than I have in the last 2 years, over the last few months. And that's just through the same as I did to get into this industry. Don't stop. Look at all the things that was against me, all the odds, records, etc., etc. And I got myself in the industry. 5 to 6 years later, I'm now giving people opportunities within that industry myself. So the first thing that I do say to people is just never look at something that's negative as a negative. You always have to look at it as a positive. Or I failed. Well, your failure is a lesson, and your failure is one failure closer to your goal, because nobody just wakes up, leaves school or college or drops out or whatever, and it's very rare to just jump into an opportunity and be good for life. You have to work hard for these things. Does that make sense? And within working hard becomes stress, becomes failure, negative situations that you have to overcome. Growth within yourself, talking to yourself when you're going through these, what you would call bad times or harsh times, are very important, because you get to teach yourself, as Dylan says, how you deal with emotions, how you actually deal with these bad situations. So when you actually get into them situations again, if you unfortunately do, you can deal with it a lot better. That they all conjure up into growth, into being able to identify where your problems are and asking people that are hopefully within your network to be able to help you with them problems. Because I'm 36 and a lot of people look up to me, as if you want to call it, but that then doesn't mean that I don't need mentors, that I don't need educating, that I can't be taught, which is another thing. You should always be teaching, you should always be learning. I don't actually have an aerial from my TV to my wall, because the time that I watch TV is a waste of time. I can watch football online, so I don't need a TV. It's as simple as that with me. I would rather watch something to do with quantum physics, which has nothing to do with my career, than watch Saturday Night Live, MTV, what then the next track is, because it's not teaching me anything. I'm not actually growing. And there's things within quantum physics that has helped me within my career or my everyday. Black history, women empowerment, trading, rich university, cryptocurrencies, investing, always being able to, which that always conjures up to, is thinking outside of the box. Because you conspired to a box within your comfortability, and you're not willing to try anything or just disregard things because you're not used to it, or it's not in your usual routine. You have to get out of your usual routine. Why? Because you're not a millionaire. I'm not a millionaire, so I change my routine every single week. I sit down on a Friday, I look at my diary, I look at my routine, I say, how can I improve? Where did I go wrong? Because it's all about the I if I want to grow.
So, that all makes sense. So early this year, I remember getting you guys together and got you on a Zoom call, and I think I told you that I joined this trading rich university thing. That your cousin had been in for I don't know how many years, breaking out of, that fashion industry thing that she had in her mind from when she was 12 or something like that.
Hey, I'm still into fashion, thanks.
Yeah, okay. Well,
Hey,
that's a matter of opinion. But anyway, so when I came to you guys and said that I decided to get in and wanted to take you guys with me, what did you make of that? Because that was something that I'd never been into at all.
well, you're not, just to be blunt, you're not into anything. Unless you have researched it yourself and come up with it yourself and you are comfortable with it, the answer is no. So when you approach me with something that someone has put to you, I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna think about it, definitely. It's gonna interest me because, like I said, you're the type of person that's not just gonna take anything on, and the type of person that's not gonna take most things on, if that makes sense. Whether it's inside your box or outside your box, it doesn't make any difference. If it doesn't bode well with you and you can't see good fundamentals, you're just not interested. So when you actually come and, I don't know, encourage, pitch, include, invite me to do something like that is what I would call out of the norm of everyday society, then I'm gonna jump in and give it a little look, definitely.
What about you, Dale? What did you make of it?
Well, again, just echoing, what Nick said. I know that if you're bringing me something, it's something that you've thought about, researched about itself, and just to see you so excited, about the opportunity, but not excited because I'm going to be rich. Excited about empowering. I read something that success isn't how much money you make, but how much opportunities you give to people, and that to you is your currency. Of your treasure. That's your gold. That's your your direction. So again, at the time when we were having these conversations, it was, again, for me, a low point. Just kind of, I was in limbo from the security of 9 to 5 world, and just navigating through. So it was nice. It gave me something to go towards, to cling towards. I tried looking at a lot of the stuff, the course material that the subject matter of Rich University myself, and it was just baffling to me. So what I found was a community where it kind of steered me in the direction, to a curriculum per se, just just a better part of the word, where it broke down something, and it made me feel empowered and what have you. It you know it made me feel empowered. And again, when you get a new skill set, and then that skill set gives you more opportunities as well, And Nick's been trying to talk to me for donkey's years about investing in cryptocurrency and stuff. And yeah, cuz yeah, cool. But I just felt so insecure in myself that I'd have no idea what he's saying, And when I now go back and watch videos that I was watching back in March about trading and crypto and stuff, I understand it. I remember at the time just looking at it, feeling like the dumbest guy in the room, and it's just me in my room anyway. So, itself. So, I just knew that regardless of what happens, you keep focused with your family. You keep your conversations constructive. I think we've spoke more in this last 12 months than we have in the last 5-6 years. And the conversations are constructive. Yeah, it's great. It's actually great minds, because we're making plans. Small-minded people, when they talk about people. We're talking about plans. Medium people, they talk about events. So we're kind of at the top of that totem pole there. So just even being part of the Nephew network that we've made, that we've effectively changed from a WhatsApp group to actually something. Just the fact that all the young men there, we can all talk and check in on each other, have that sense of community. I was saying to you yesterday in our conversation, even in my early informative years, when I used to come up to Manchester and I used to go to church, and you got all the kids around. You had your Sunday school, had your education, and then at the end of it, as a neighborhood, as a community, we used to eat dinner together. You can't even get families to sit down and yam together now. But back then we had, whole communities, a big church hall full of great Black people, wise and stuff. And it's again, it's just nice to be part of trying to rebuild something like that again. And even at the very least, even if it's not influencing myself, it makes me know that I can try and influence my nephews and my younger cousins and just get them, get them going. A few years ago, we had Fidel. My nephew should be here today. Unfortunately, he's not. But as soon as he finished school, we got a little office job, and I could see a lot of what I had in me at the time. Like, this is not life. This is not the way to go. Too dynamic for this thing. And luckily for him, he just took my advice, and I said, look, if you don't want to do this, don't do it. But just keep trying stuff. Just keep trying stuff. Keep plugging forward. And one day, you'll find your calling. And just to see him now in church organizations and doing that,
Absolutely.
that will lead to greatness. And I'm actually so proud of him that he has found his own network per se that is separate to ourselves, but I know he's going to be full of constructive people. So again, back to the original question, when you came to me with that, I was very excited because I could actually see a bright future for us, all of us, moving forward. And what have you.
Wow. Amazing. Just going to interject there. We're right at the half-hour point, and I know this is getting juicier and juicier. Like Nephew Nation on fleek, the levels are definitely increased. I just want to say, to both of you, my cousins, big head cousins, big cousins, it's been such a pleasure and an honor to, even have you guys brought in. I'm going to keep it 100% transparent as well, because this is real tea, real talk. We've got a lot of different people, that are engaged, listening, thinking about, okay, could this be for me? What type of people are in here? Do you need this forever? So I want us to also explore that, because I know that, both of you have had the experience of being on the inside and on the outside and what that feels like. But just at this point, I also want to bring somebody else into the conversation, and these are two aspiring young traders, the youngest part of Rich University right now, our 12-year-old Niquane Mackenzie, and also Sapphire. They are part of our Young Rich Academy, and I know Dale and you, Nick, both work with young kids, and they are at the point in their life where, if we would have done this at their ages, been thinking about investments, thinking about how money works, it was a pleasure and an honor to, connect with them on Saturday at the Rich Hub and just hear their opinions and thoughts on the world. We've never had anywhere we could go and talk and grow and have conversations about, what's the difference between an asset and a liability, and, what does it mean to exchange time for money, and what is an investment, and all these different things. So, Niquane and Sapphire, I just want to check that you guys can hear me. You guys are now at the table. I don't know if you guys can unmute. I've asked you to, and put your cameras on so we can see your amazing faces and smiles. Hey. Can you hear me, Niquane? Can you hear me, Sapphire?
I can, Auntie, I can.
Oh, hello.
Amazing. Can you turn your camera on?
I can't turn my camera on.
Okay, neither can Niquane. That's both ironic. These little Gen Zs just all camera shy all of a sudden. Any questions that you've got for the Nephew Nation?
Oh, I have one question. This is mainly spotlighted on Dylan, since with his introduction. I heard that he was told something that I was as well, that if you're a Black person in the industry, in pretty much anything you do, you have to put 2 times more effort, because especially for me, going to school and all, like going to a really good school, there's so much competition, and like I think, like, you have to push yourself as a black person. I want to ask him also what else inspired him. Like
Okay.
what mainly inspired him?
Well, what mainly inspired me was my mum. My mum is hands down to me my most amazing person. Just the fact that, you know, the typical cliche, you know, for the majority of my life, single parent household. You know, I was afforded the opportunity to start off with the dream, the mum, dad, and the married, and all that stuff. So I did get to see that. But in life, things don't always work out. But one thing that my mum did, you know, like all humans, she had her bad days. But when you're going in a straight line of trying to better yourself, you're gonna come through to stuff, and you got to smash through it. You understand? And that's something, you know, that my mum taught me. But she also taught me that be human, have your days. If you wanna just have a day sitting curled up on your couch, feeling a little bit sorry for yourself, you know, have that day. That is part of healing. Um, my mum never settled. She'll get into an industry, she'll teach herself everything, she'll do the industry for a couple years, and then, you know what, there's more out there. And then she'll go and get another course and do another thing, and then she'll smash that, and then she'll get another job. But so what she showed me is you've got to go out there and get it. It's all good, you know, kind of waiting for stuff, but you've got to go out there and get it. And anyone that's ever achieved anything didn't listen to anybody saying you can't, you can't, you can't. You know, they tell us, oh, you can't have a black James Bond. Cool, I don't want to be no black James Bond. We're gonna make our own thing. You know what I'm saying? And make that 10 times better. Because what you find as black people, we actually pop style. You understand? You know,
Talk that talk.
we make things happen. And when you kind of do your research as you get older and you start doing black history, you realize that most of the world's creations and inventions and constructive things to help mankind are actually done by black people. But unfortunately, they weren't afforded the opportunities and the administrative tools to be able to put their name on things, you know? So I would always say learn your history, because as soon as I learn more and more about history and black people and way beyond slavery, there's thousands and thousands of years of greatness, and it makes you stand tall, it makes you feel royal. In terms of haters and opposition that you'll get, what you'll realize is that that is actually indication that you're doing something right. You understand? You're always going to get it. And because, you know, we're so blessed with the royal skin, with the everything, right? What happens is, yeah, a lot of times you might be made to think that you're not working twice as hard as people, is because we just make things look effortless. Yeah, when we dance, we just dance. We've got the rhythm. It's effortless. Certain people have to learn steps and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. They have to overly think when we do a lot of things from instinct. You know, I went to a really good school where I was one of like 3 black boys in my whole, you know, year group, and maybe 1 of 10 in the whole school, and stuff. And what you have to do, it's not necessarily working harder, it's working smarter, and it's working with grace. And it's also just realizing that, unfortunately, people, no fault to their own, it's a bit of society, a bit of media influence. They have a perception of how black people are. And when you don't fit that, a lot of people will try and prod you and draw you out. So if you do have a weak moment, a tired moment where you're not focused in controlling of your emotions, and you snap out, they're like, see, that's the black boy that, you know, that we knew you were. So it's you know, the effort really is remaining yourself as a young black man, but also being graceful in the face, you know, of adversity, and just know, you know, now you're part of the network. You've always got big brothers like myself that you can talk to, because you know, part of my job in life was to go through this stuff, so then I can pass that knowledge down to you, okay, and help guide you. But you know, just from hearing you speak, I can tell you're an educated young man. And
So
unfortunately,
that was Sapphire. That was our young
oh,
lady.
okay.
They
And
were. Why you ask the question?
but,
No, it was
but
Sapphire.
But yeah, but I can tell that you've got your head screwed on, and you just have to persevere. And the most fearful thing for an ignorant-minded person, not of our race or our creed or what have you, is an educated, organized black man. Very powerful indeed. So keep striving to be organized, educated, and knowledgeable. Because when you have those things, no one, they can mess with you, but it'll just bounce off like your Teflon, because you'll be so above that and over that. So keep doing what you're doing. Listen to your mom. Be inspired by your parents in everything. At the very least of their effort into just trying to make your life as blessed as possible. And you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong.
Wow. Amazing advice. How was that, Sapphire? Did that answer your question?
Yes, that has answered my questions. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Good evening to all the dear ladies and gentlemen on this call.
Wow.
Good evening to you,
too.
Mr.
Teach my kids some manners, man.
Reader.
I know
I
you
love
need
it,
to. Sapphire, you're coming from my spot. You're gonna have to be the Rich Table Talk host. We'll talk about it next week, and I'm so excited as well to be connecting with you. I told you, she's the future. She definitely is the future. There's not even a position, president or whatever, that's bigger than all of them things. So. Okay, Mr. Nikwain in the building, our 12-year-old genius. What have you got for us today? What do you want to ask our panelists?
Oh yeah, I already asked the question.
Of course.
Oh, is that Nikwain?
It was Nikwain who asked the question.
Oh, right. I thought it was Sapphire.
No.
You're getting confused.
So sorry. So sorry. Oh, awesome.
But I do have another question though.
Go ahead.
What was like your type of childhood dream for a job? Because although I do want to invest in the stock market, I do want to also do loads of things like drawing, art, computer science, music career, loads of things.
You can do all those, and that's what I'm saying about the box. I make music. I like to
remember that. Yeah.
I buy and sell clothes and stuff, and kind of use my creative passion to do that stuff. So you actually have, you're limitless in what you can do itself. From what I read and I understand, most millionaires are millionaires because they've got 6 streams of income. So you can make your music and sell that. You can do your stocks and just keep your bills paid for and stuff like that. The good thing about the investment and the trading is that it gives you time. As you get proficient in it, you can be done trading in 2-3 hours and make your weekly or your daily money that you need to do, and then go put yourself in the studio and what have you. When I was young, I actually wanted to be an inventor. And just come up with this crazy schemes. But I wanted
Mad
to
scientist. Where's the hair?
I lost it. I put my finger in the plug socket and
you need to invent some follicles.
I'm waiting for that stem cell research.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no. I've wanted to be a PE teacher, a physio, a musician, and also work with kids. I've always wanted to actually work with kids. So, I am doing, one of those dreams, and I am, making music. But just know that you have the capacity. You can do everything. It's just all about balance and time management and what have you, and just know that right now if you're good at your trading and you keep listening to your mentors and stuff, by the time, you're 20, you won't have to worry about money in the sense of, how's rent gonna get paid, stuff like that. That's what can overshadow you. You get into a career and it becomes priority. I need to do this to live and survive. And then the creativity parts, dries up and what have you. So just know you can do everything, and just try and enjoy your childhood as well. I know we're talking serious stuff, but just try and enjoy your childhood. It's a beautiful time and it goes so quickly. And just know that you are actually on the right path. When I was 12 years old, I think I was just coming out of my Power Ranger stage. Do you know what I'm saying? So, you're doing really good.
Respect
Your
that, Dale. I
Power
know you
Ranger
gotta go,
stage.
Dale. I know you gotta go. So Go ahead. We're about to end anyway. Thank you so much, Mr. Pip Castle. Thank you for your wise words, your transparency, and we will see you very soon.
Thank you. Good evening, guys. You take care.
Yeah. Thanks, Dale. I really appreciate that.
Bye.
No problems. Bye-bye. Good night.
Really appreciate it.
So yeah, guys, we're about to wrap up shortly as well. I don't know if you guys have any more questions in the chat. Mr. Nikwain and Miss Sapphire, amazing job. If you've got any questions for Mr. Nick the Quick right here as well. Oh, I see. Let's go ahead and upgrade Miss Sawyers, the mother of Pip Castle, since I see your hand is raised. So like I said, this is Inclusion Week. You guys get the opportunity to be live in living color and have a seat at the table. So over to you, Mrs. Sawyers.
Hey, Chloe.
Hi. I actually want to ask Nikwain a question. Oh, well, I'd like to know more about you. How did you get started, and have you got an aptitude for math? Because it's interesting that you would like doing this. So tell me about yourself.
I do a lot of things. Well, I plan to do a load of things. I just saw a load of things really when I was like a small child. I said, I wanted to be this, so I wanted to be that, and in the end I couldn't decide, so I settled on the fact that I might do multiple jobs. I also wanted to make a fair income as well, just to get started as a child, because if you're the logic that I follow is that if I'm a child now and start following jobs and careers now, I won't have to worry about, like most people, especially people in like modern children my age, or teenagers older, like in their 70s, maybe they're even adults. They might have to struggle. So I didn't want to do that. So I decided to like settle on the idea that I might make a load of, I will make a load of money.
There you go, future millionaire.
Oh wow.
So in the end, I decided to join a partner. I needed a way to get some money in order to pay for 1 month.
You're a little genius.
So then I had to borrow from my dad 1 month.
I love it.
I have to pay again. So that was last month. So then I decided to join the stock market so I could make enough money. I hear you can make 500 about a day every day, so that's enough to pay 5 months just by a day's work. So in the end, I decided to settle on the stock market, and whilst I use the stock market to my advantage and stuff like that, I can find a career that suits me. Then in the end, I can continue the stock market my entire life, whilst I find more careers. And by the time I turn 18, I'll have a load of careers.
You rule the world. What is it that you like to do, Nikwain? What is it that you what do you like for fun?
Well, I'm looking back into drawing. I'm looking into game design.
Oh, great career that.
I'm looking into TV animation. Like,
hey, look, you're gonna put me out of work.
I actually have a hard drive with some courses on it for you there, Nikwain.
As a side activity, I'm trying to learn Japanese. I thought of
We're not laughing at you, Nikwain.
We're
just so joyful.
You're making me feel lazy.
We're just so joyful to hear.
It's just a great example of what I would call real parenting, looking at real potential and actually realizing what our young Black people are capable of. It's something that I consistently keep trying to emphasize, that there are, for example, Jewish primary school kids that speak about stocks and shares every day. And this young king is a great example of the intelligence, potential, fundamentals and adult maturity that our youths can have. It's just all about
Amen.
tapping into that from a young age.
Amen.
Definitely.
Amen.
Yeah, and kudos to his parents, because I know that he didn't wake up like that. They had to show him something. They had to show him something to get him on that.
Congratulations to him. He just he's doing a voiceover for HBO.
Wow!
Oh my
Wow.
word.
Woo!
The American I think the American television.
Wow, so much fun.
You just putting us all out of work. There's nowhere for us to go. We're all
Your
redundant.
volume's dipping, Dad.
Also, some information if you were wondering where I developed an idea for art. When I was about 5 or 6, I started drawing in school. I started messing around with like paint and like little stick men. Then I realized that I could make bodies. So I connected the necks and the heads and then I started drawing.
I just want to
Can
say,
I-
like, young. Go on, Nick. Sorry.
Sorry, Queen. Can I just because this is what Rich University is about. With me doing a community work that I did, a black soldier high ranked from London sent me a hard drive about 2 months ago. Within this hard drive, there are coding courses for JavaScript, putting apps on iPhone and Samsung, for example, IT security, programming, etc., etc. I'd like to even some architecture courses around there. So I'd like to hand some of these courses digitally to the young king for him to look at, because I'm sure
Wow.
he understand them as much as me, and that's what it's about. If I have information or anyone has information that any of us can utilize, I think that should be done. Also, I do have a question for the young king, for the people on the panel. For example, when we have black superstars that like Wiley that don't get supported, an idea of mine was to build a black Facebook for us.
What do Black Amazon?
Yeah, the only reason why it's not done yet is because I need somebody that's a young black male or female that can do coding. Seems like this young king is ready to be a millionaire through having his own social media platform.
Amen.
Something that we can build towards, most definitely.
Just learning basic modeling.
Yeah.
Wow. This is amazing. This is amazing. I just want to say, number one, thank you so much for the offering. And, our network is our net worth. We are the future and the change that we want to see. Just those of you who are attending tonight, this is just an insight inside the rich walls, inside the rich palace. You might have thought it was just about, Forex and numbers and charts. No, it's a higher level of conversation. It's a higher level of interaction and engagement. This is an opportunity for you at any stage in your life. You're never too old to start. You're never too young to start. And you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. And this offers you the support network. It offers you the resources, the systems in place, the mentorship, the tools, the apps. And like you can just see, just having those conversations, like where do we go to talk and plan? Where do we go when all the billionaires of the world, they go golf courses? So now you have a place. You have a place right here. The Rich UK, we have the hub here on Saturdays. Reach out to whoever invited you onto this amazing call. I mean, I've enjoyed it. This has been so dynamic. I'm so glad that we did this today, that we did inclusion. Nikwain, you've been the best special guest ever. I just can't wait you need your own show, like 100%, from HBO to the world. So I know that we're right at the top of the hour, and this is just, a quick half an hour show. So we've got way carried away. But any questions, comments, concerns, redirect them to the person who invited you. You can also, hit us up at richuniversityuk@gmail.com and take advantage for the next 10 days to have an independent wealth conversation with one of our high-level leaders. So if any of you guys have any final words, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap up for the evening. Mr. A.
Well, I'm just going to say thank you to Big Eddie Nephews, Nick and Dill. Really grateful that you stepped up at such short notice. I appreciate both of you. I'll give you the money for the compliments tomorrow. I'll send it in the post. And, the final thing is, And now that I've heard all these great business ideas, and Wayne is on his way to making the Facebook, just remember that I was here at the beginning of the conversation, so I want my equity and my shares. Okay? Yeah, I'm going to say I made that happen, so it's all right. I'll only take 25%, Wayne and Nick.
Don't listen to him, Nick Wayne.
Just 25%.
Get yourself a lawyer, not him.
From Nick to King Nick, I will make sure somehow that you get these courses to you, definitely. Yeah.
Exactly.
Definitely getting these courses too.
Also, Miss Sapphire, I'm sorry I didn't get to see you, but you sound like an amazing young woman, and I know that I wish you all the best, and I know you're going from strength to strength.
Wow. You're going to take over the community. Thankfully, push us all out.
Yes, the children are our future. You're looking at the future, guys. We are definitely living in the future. We're talking young kings and queens. We're talking future millionaires. We're talking digital currency. We're talking about tapping into $6.7 trillion a day from the same phone that you scroll through social media with. So get to know. Right about now, we are at the top of the hour. You don't have to go. You don't have to, what's it? You don't have to leave, but you got to get the heck up out of here. So tune in, same time, same place, 9 p.m. It's been an absolute honor. All my panelists, if you just stay there for me, and everybody else, we'll see you tomorrow. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Hey. Woo. Hey.
Stay on, Nick. You two stay on
Nick. Stay on Nick Wayne. Stay on Picasso. Bye, guys.
Bye.
And remember, you guys have the chance to be a panelist at the table every day this week. So come with your questions ready.
Yeah.
Hey. Bye, guys. It gotta make sense. It gotta make you cry. I'm cutting ties. Bye. Just a few more years. Bye-bye. Okay, let me help you guys out.